Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So the fifth test match between India and England, it was the rescheduled test match of the previous year's test series, and the 4 test matches were played, and suddenly there was a COVID outbreak last year, so it was rescheduled this year in 2022. And so a lot of things changed within a span of 1 year. So during the last time when India were touring England, so Virat Kohli was the captain and Joe Root was the English captain. But this time it was Jasprit Bumrah who was leading India, as Rohit Sharma was unfit, and then Ben Stokes was the new England Test team skipper. So Ben Stokes won the toss and he decided to have a bowl first on a gloomy day in Edgbaston. So batting first, India did not get off to a good start as they did not have their regular openers. So Cheteshwar Pujara started the innings with Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill did not last long, and so as Hanuma Vihari. And after that, wickets kept on falling at regular intervals as Jimmy Anderson, Stuart Broad and Matty Potts was on fire. And India was suddenly reduced to 98 for 5. And after that it was the wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant who joined hands with Ravi Jadeja, and they stitched a brilliant rearguard action by stitching a partnership of 222 runs. Eventually Rishabh Pant scored 146 runs, and that was a magnificent run he had scored in Birmingham. And after that Ravindra Jadeja stitched some useful partnership with the tail-enders, and yes, India's tail wagged a lot. And eventually India scored 416 runs in the first innings thanks to another century by Ravindra Jadeja. And yes, you should not forget the most expensive over in Test cricket history. Jasprit Bumrah scoring 35 runs of Stuart Broad. It was phenomenal, and people were reminding Stuart Broad of the 6 sixes that Yuvraj had scored in the 2007 World Cup. So in reply to India's first innings score of 416 runs, England did not get off to a good start. They lost both their openers quickly, and suddenly England were reduced to 83 for 5 thanks to some brilliant bowling by the Indian seamers Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami and Mohammad Siraj. But then it was a beautiful partnership from Johnny Bairstow and their skipper Ben Stokes that kept England to a respectable first innings total, and eventually England folded for 284 runs in the first innings. But yes, Johnny Bairstow, he was in the form of his life. He scored another century in the first innings for England. And with that, England conceded a lead of 132 runs to India in the first innings. So India started the second innings with a lead of 132 runs. But then Jimmy Anderson stuck in the very first over, removing Shubman Gill. After that it was Hanuma Vihari who joined hands with Cheteshwar Pujara, but also Vihari did not last long and he went out, and eventually India started losing a couple more wickets. After that it was Rishabh Pant who joined hands with Cheteshwar Pujara, and they tried to steady the Indian innings. Both Pujara and Pant scored useful half centuries, and after that India collapsed like a house of cards. And eventually Ben Stokes picked up 4 wickets to wrap up the tail, and India folded for just 245 runs in the second innings, setting up a target of 378 runs for England to chase in the 4th innings. So chasing a 4th innings total of 378 runs, England needed to get off to a great start. And yes, their openers Alex Lees and Zach Crawley gave them a solid start, and they scored 107 runs in just 21 odd overs. It was a fantastic partnership by the openers, and that really put the Indian bowlers on the back foot with the new ball. But after that, Jasprit Bumrah struck twice and then an unfortunate run out made England to slip to 109 odd runs for 3 wickets. And after that, it was their ex-skipper Joe Root who joined hands with the man of the moment, Johnny Bairstow. And I mean, these two, they played caution with aggression. I mean, it was a fantastic innings from these two batsmen. These two batsmen from Yorkshire, I mean, they played brilliantly. Pulls, cuts, hooks, cover drives, leg glance, sweeps, reverse sweeps. I mean, everything was there in that partnership of 269 runs. And England ensured that they do not lose any more wickets, and eventually they chased down this historic 4th innings total of 378 runs quite comfortably. Joe Root scored 142 runs and Johnny Bairstow was unbeaten on 114, scoring the 2nd century of this test match. And eventually, England had chased down this highest ever 4th innings total in their run chases in test match history. So England winning this game by 7 wickets, and with this they drew the series level 2-2. So Johnny Bairstow was declared the man of the match for scoring twin hundreds in this 5th test match in Edgbaston. And for the player of the series, Joe Root was declared the player of the series from the England side, and from the Indian side it was Jasprit Bumrah for picking up 23 wickets in the 5 test match series. And so since the test match drew level, so the trophy was shared between Ben Stokes and Jasprit Bumrah. But India had a very good chance to win this series on England soil after 15 years. But yes, some COVID outbreaks in the Indian camp just before the start of the game, and then some unusual batting in the 2nd innings had made this loss for the Indian team. So anyways, we have wrapped up this one-off test match in 2022 in England, and now the focus will shift to the shortest format of the game, as India will play a 3-match T20I series against England. Stay tuned to my channel and I will bring all the updates of the T20 series. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.